Our new anime begins with Yuria, who wakes up from a dream and arrives at the shrine where he'll be living from now on. A girl notices him and thinks he's cute, assuming he's there to pray for good grades since he's holding a book. However, Yuria doesn't believe in gods, so he simply goes to the house next to the shrine. Finding no one there, he enters and hears the sound of girls changing clothes. Thinking it best to leave, Yuria turns to go, but the girls open the door, and Yuria decides it's better to pretend he never saw any. However, the girls return with some salt to purify the filth. The three sisters are shrine maidens, and Yuria realizes he has to live with. He wants to forget the embarrassing incident. She wants Yuria to treat them like family since they'll be living together. But Yuna doesn't feel the same way. Yuria, too, prefers to focus on his studies. Later, Yuna shows Yuria his room, which she cleaned herself, albeit hastily. While she searches for something, a pile comes crashing down, and Yuria tries to save her. The other two sisters come in, only to see Yuria crushed under a huge pile of racks. It was an awkward situation for Yuria. Asahi enters to get to know Yuria better, but he insists she should stay away. Asahi misinterprets this and starts searching through his things to find any pervy magazines. Yuria finds Yuna sleeping on the floor, exhausted from working on talismans. He attempts to cover her with a blanket, but she wakes up, creating yet another awkward moment. The other sisters arrive, misinterpreting the scene. Sisters ask Yuria why he's staying up late, and he reveals that he's studying to get into Kyoto Medical College. The sisters tell him about gods who grant success to believers, and mention that a miracle time is approaching, where wishes made during a star shower are said to come true. Yuria, being a man of science, brushes this off as nothing more than small meteors and dismisses the idea. Yuna becomes upset and vows to curse him with her shrine powers. The next day, many visitors come to the shrine, and the shrine maidens perform their duties. Suddenly, a bird snatches away the red string that Yuna's mother had given her and her sister. The group searches for the bird until sunset but finds no trace of the string. Yuna, naturally upset, remains calm, trusting that the gods will help them recover the string. Yuria finds this belief pathetic and insists that it's hard work, not divine intervention, that determines outcomes. This leads to a heated argument between Yuna and Yuria, with Yuna declaring that he doesn't belong at the shrine. Later, Yuna goes looking for Yuria, but he is nowhere to be found. In a panic, she thinks that the gods have taken him away. Meanwhile, Asahi stumbles upon a photograph of Yuria with his mother, taken in a hospital. Their grandfather had told them about Yuria's past, and Asahi realizes that Yuria lost his mother at a young age. Perhaps at one time, Yuria had believed in gods and prayed for his mother, but when she passed away, his faith died. Asahi understands that Yuna and Yuria will eventually get along because they're alike in some ways. They both appear strong, but are soft-hearted inside. While the sisters continue their search, Yuria is out in the woods looking for the lost string. As he searches, he begins to reflect on the sisters' unwavering belief in the gods. Meanwhile, Yuna arrives at the shrine and sees Yuria praying, wishing for Yuna to find her treasure. Touched by the gesture, Yuna joins him and apologizes for the harsh things she had said earlier. She realizes that Yuria worked hard to find the string and understands that, deep down, he still respects the gods, even if he doesn't openly admit it. The other two sisters find them, and Asahi misinterprets the situation in her usual humorous way. As they head back, hoping for a miracle, the sky lights up with a star shower, and the scene is filled with majestic light. Cherry blossom petals float in the air, creating a beautiful sight. While Yuria still insists that it's a natural phenomenon and not a miracle, the girls tell him to open his eyes to the beauty of the moment. Embarrassed, Yuria blushes. Suddenly, someone returns the red string to Yuna. It had been in a bird's nest all along. The episode ends with the arrival of Chidori, the sister's grandfather. He's glad that Yuria is staying at the shrine and reveals his hope that Yuria will become the priest and marry one of his granddaughters. Though you had always dreamed of becoming a doctor, not a priest, the old man tried to persuade you to reconsider, suggesting that you could still work side jobs while serving the shrine. When he mentioned his plans to recommend you to Kyoto University, where you always wanted to study, you reluctantly agreed to his marriage proposal, seeing it as a way to secure your spot at the university. The old man was thrilled to have a groom for his granddaughter, but you secretly intended to play along only until you were admitted to college. The granddaughters were just as surprised. Yuna, one of the girls, had no desire to marry you, believing a non-believer couldn't possibly run the shrine. Still, her grandfather was firm in his decision. Determined to make you leave, Yuna devised a series of impossible tasks to discourage you. The first challenge was cooking, but the refrigerator was nearly empty. Expecting failure, she was surprised when you managed to whip up a delicious meal with limited ingredients. Next, Yuna tasked you with laundry, which made the sisters uncomfortable since it meant handling their undergarments. Yet, you completed the job without fuss, even folding the clothes neatly, leaving them stunned. As a final challenge, Yuna assigned you to clean Ai's chaotic room, which had an odd smell due to her art supplies. You learned that Ai, who aspired to be an artist, was attending art college. Despite the mess, you managed to tidy the room, impressing Yuna and the others. While Yuna began to reconsider her initial plan, you thanked them for their hospitality and made it clear that you needed time to study to pursue your dream of becoming a doctor. You left the shrine, determined to get into Kyo University on your own. Despite your departure, the girls found themselves unable to stop thinking about you and decided to follow you, only to end up in front of a spooky house. Yuna assumed this was where you were living after they kicked you out. Suddenly, you appeared, surprising them, and introduced the girls to Mahiru, who cared for the foster children living there. Mahiru thanked the girls for looking after you, jokingly saying they were too good for you. She explained how hard you were working to get into Kyo University, just like her. When you questioned Mahiru about arranging the marriage, she revealed that after years of supporting you, she expected you to appreciate her efforts. Her intensity left the girls impressed. The foster children were busy making paper cranes to wish for their parents' recovery, as many of them were hospitalized. Though you were skeptical, Yuna explained the crane's symbolic significance, inspiring the girls to join in. Despite their clumsy efforts, each sister managed to fold a crane, and after some coaxing from the kids, you helped complete the rest. One child reminded you of your younger self, doubtful that the cranes could make a difference. You comforted him, saying the doctors would work hard because of the children's sincerity, moving the girls. Mahiru then shared that you had once folded thousands of cranes for your own mother, a testament to your resilience. She asked the girls to take good care of you, knowing that, despite your stubbornness, you were reliable. When Mahiru asked why you'd left the shrine, you explained that you needed more time to study rather than just doing chores. Seeing the girls' concern for you, Mahiru reassured you that you could achieve anything you set your mind to. Realizing how Mahiru had always balanced caring for the children with her own studies, you reconsidered. The girls noticed you smiling and teased you about being in love with Mahiru, which you denied, apologizing for leaving abruptly. You agreed to return to the shrine, this time with a new arrangement. The girls proposed dividing the chores so they could all live together as a family. It was a touching moment that solidified your bond, though the girls still struggled with daily tasks. I quickly managed to mess up her room again, and Yuna took her time preparing breakfast. When the old man returned, he was pleased to see everyone getting along and decided to arrange a formal marriage meeting. And that's where episode 2 ends. Stay tuned for the next installment.